For 10 years, Timothy believed in his seemingly perfect marriage. I mean, why wouldn't he? He had 2 great kids and a loving wife. Unfortunately, though, she recently blindsided him with a divorce, leaving him both confused and devastated. Timothy loved his wife, so he tried to save their marriage. That's when it came to light that she'd enjoyed multiple affairs over the past 3 years. While you'd think that he'd want to leave this woman behind as quickly as possible, Timothy isn't quite ready to throw in the towel just yet. And as always, links to the original story can be found on coffeeandpopcorn.co.uk. But let's get into it. Timothy and his wife Tori are both in their 30s and were married for 10 years. They also have 2 elementary-aged kids. Timothy described the first 7 years of their marriage as being perfect, at least from his point of view. He couldn't have asked for a better wife and mother. That said, the last 3 years of their relationship were much tougher. So much so that they did a bunch of counseling to get their marriage back on track. Sadly though, they could never really get there. To get back what he was losing with Tori, Timothy planned countless dates, read, and listened to every and anything that talked about how to improve a marriage. And while it helped, there was a gap between them that he couldn't seem to close, no matter how hard he tried.
Gosh, just listening to how much energy he was pouring into his relationship is tiring me out.
You're telling me? During the second half of 2023, Tori blindsided Timothy and asked for a divorce. And no matter how much Timothy tried to talk her out of it, nothing would change her mind. And she insisted on going ahead with it. Like most of us would be, Timothy was confused. And yeah, the last 3 years were pretty tough. But Timothy was fully invested in their marriage. At the time, Tori didn't give Timothy a satisfactory answer as to why she was calling it quits. And even though he knew that he wasn't the perfect husband and had his faults, like we all do, he was still pretty shocked by her filing.
I don't know. Maybe he really undersold just how tough those last 3 years were. It's not like their relationship was in a good place, so he shouldn't have been so shocked by this move, right?
That's true, you have a point. Those 3 years could have been absolute hell. But there was a reason as to why things were so turbulent between them. You see, a little more than a month after Tori filed, she was already seeing a new guy. And a month after that, she'd introduced this guy to their kids.
There's no way that she just met that guy. Not after 10 years of marriage. Who moves on that quickly?
Well, you wouldn't be wrong, as during the discovery phase of their divorce, certain documents revealed that Tori enjoyed multiple affairs, all starting from around the 7th year of their marriage.
Which is why she was so distant with him.
Exactly. One of her affairs lasted for at least a year, something that Timothy had no idea she was capable of. The amount of lying she did to keep all this hidden from Timothy was incredible. But now, Timothy knew why he wasn't able to connect with Tori during the last 3 years of their marriage. Fast forward 5 months and nearly $100,000 in lawyer bills. Tori suddenly decides, no, I don't want a divorce. I want to work on our marriage. Which confused Timothy because she was still seeing her new guy. Tori told Timothy that she'd end her new relationship if he took her back. But Timothy, well, he wanted to know why she had a change of heart. While they were going through the divorce, Timothy met someone new, which netizens were super happy about. So he wondered if that's why she wanted him back. Or maybe it was his high income that caused her to change her mind about things. Tori said it was because he was a great dad. But that's nonsense, because that's something she would have noticed a long time ago. At least in my opinion.
Whatever you have to say next, please don't let it be that he dumped the new girl to get back with Tori.
Not today, but he was tempted to let her new guy know all about how little Tori thinks of him, since she was ready to call it quits on their new relationship. Being the kind of guy he is, though, Timothy decided to hear Tori out, thinking that it was the least he could do after 10 years of marriage.
The least she could have done is not fuck other guys. Sorry for my language, but he's being too nice.
No, I hear you. Anyway, during their talk, Tori took responsibility for her mistakes and gave Timothy a heartfelt apology. But still, she couldn't help but put some of the blame on him for her cheating. something that Timothy rejected immediately. Their divorce was finalized a few weeks before he shared his story, and since then, she tried to get back with him. Even though Timothy doesn't like seeing Tori in such a regretful state, far too much damage was done to their relationship. And besides, he has a new woman in his life who's beautiful inside and out, and she supported him through this whole thing.
Well, I for one am glad that he's free.
Yeah, a lot of netizens felt the same way. But things haven't been easy for Timothy since the divorce.
Why? What happened?
Well, in an update he shared, he'd lost access to his kids 60% of the time. He also lost the house, half his money, and the dogs. This is why there's so much talk about people getting prenups. I mean, we all have prenups. The only difference is, will you declare your own conditions or abide by what the government already has in place? Anyway, Timothy was pretty annoyed that the guy Tori left him for didn't have to deal with any consequences. And even though he knows that most of the blame should be on Tori, it still rubs him the wrong way. Now, you should know, Tori and the new guy aren't together anymore, so I guess things went south pretty quickly after the divorce was finalized. But yeah, that's just about where we are with things. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed today's video on coffee and popcorn, and I can't wait to see you on the next one.